to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy the King. And guess who's here? The Pikachu suit. The Pikachu suit. The Pikachu suit. The Pikachu suit. So, the King will be wearing his Pikachu suit when he be playing his Nintendo game, Pokemon, live for your viewing pleasure. Now, the next goal is here. That is for Guilty Gear Strive. Now, there's a bundle, and we play fighting games on Fridays with King of the Fighters and Mark of the Wolves, Street Fighter 6, and a host of others. Virtual Fighters, we're looking forward to you. Dead or Alive, we're looking forward to you. Fight Night Fridays are a fantastic thing. But you are here for Xbox news. Well, sadly today, I gave you Xbox news yesterday. Today, we'll be diving deep into the competition. Pause. The competition that really isn't competition, but for some of you guys, you really need to get the news. So I'm here to do a state of PlayStation and a state of Steam. We have some information, and that information needs to be given. Now, I'm going to try to be as objective as possible, but you know how I feel. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And with that being said, we have a new challenger, which is Steam. The Steam machine, the Steam controller, and the Steam frame. I got information coming your way, and we're going to talk about that in earnest. But right now, PlayStation is playing naughty, and the King is here to reprimand them. Of course. Who else? This is brought to you by Insider Gaming. If you know about the Insider Gaming app, well, then you know about Lords After Dark. What do you mean you don't know about Lords After Dark? Wait, Lord Cognito? Lord King David? Lord Sovereign? Lord Attic? You don't know about the Lords After Dark app? Well, the Lords After Dark show that is on the Insider Gaming app. Well, I suggest you get over there and check it out. It's completely different. Trust me, you won't be upset that you missed it. Well, Insider Gaming has dropped some news, and this is brought to you by Andrew Hyten. PlayStation 5 software update 26.03.11.20.00. Complete April 23 patch notes. The reason why I'm giving you patch notes, and I never ever give you patch notes, because we have a patch that is doing irreparable harm to PlayStation Nation. Now, I'm not going to call them port begging ponies, and I'm not going to call them ponies. I'm just going to call them the nation of PlayStation. Today, because today I have to be unbiased, which is hard to do because you know how I feel. Now, whether you know you need an update for your PlayStation, the next time you update it, you're going to be shocked and amazed with what's coming your way. Now, right now, you have patch notes, and these are the details that I'm going to give you. The emphasis of focus on the April 23 PlayStation 5 update is on communication. If you're someone who regularly uses the PlayStation 5 built-in text-to-chat function, well, you'll have some new QOL changes to use. The patch notes don't affect performance, user interface, or anything major. The full extent of the new patch: we've added more emojis that you can use for your message reactions. We improved messages and usability on some screens. And, they said, don't say we didn't warn you. Now, the funny thing about it is they don't tell you that this new patch has come with some unwanted DRM. You heard it right here, folks. DRM is in the building. Oh, man. I can't wait. Because right now is when the fun actually starts. We're back, baby. And this is brought to you by Twisted Voxel. Yes, I have sources. So you can't say, King, you're making it up. It hurts my feelings. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. And I'm not making it up. I'm just delivering the news as I see fit. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 DRM claims sparked concerns over 30-day online check-in requirements. What do you mean I got to check in? I'm always online. What could possibly happen if I can't check in 30 days? Irreparable harm to the games that you have. You may not be able to play them. What? You mean I purchased something and I won't be able to play it? Quite possibly that has happened. Claims circling around online suggest Sony may have introduced a strict DRM system for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 digital games. Though the information remains unverified, the discussion seems to come from a post from the modder, who alleged that newly purchased digital titles now require periodic online validation. According to McDonald, every digital game you buy now requires an online check-in every 30 days. Adding that the failure to connect within that period could result in the licensing being removed. He further stated, games you bought in the past seem to have no issue, but any game you buy from now on will only work for 30 days without an online check-in, and claimed that this behavior cannot be bypassed through the standard settings and activated on a console primary. This is troublesome. The claims have led to confusion among users, particularly given the lack of official communication from Sony. McDonald also referred to a video breakdown to the situation while responding to skepticism by stating that many users misunderstand how the PlayStation, the PSN license actually functions. If you can see, you see the game Don't Starve Together console edition, and they give you the validation period when it starts, when it's over. You have 20 days remaining on your validation period. Again, slimy work by Sony, underhanded, giving you the business. If you thought that DRM was bad, well, Sony is back with an update to the Sony Age Enforced Verification and the loss of key features if you choose not to do so. Sony is the latest company to announce that we will be requiring users to submit themselves at age check-in at certain features will be available on this PlayStation gaming platform. The move comes as countries across the globe are adopting, or at the very least debating, age verification laws that are designed to protect the young, impressionable internet users. Sony is working with age verification service Yote to determine if users is eligible for an adult account, and then there would be a few different options available for the users. The check can be completed by completing a facial scan, uploading an identification document such as a driver's license, or by using the information that the mobile provider has on file. Failure to complete the age verification will result in the user being locked out from certain features, some of which include voice chat, text chat, messaging, and joining parties. Discord, voice chat, and broadcasting gameplay services like YouTube and Twitch. The silver lining is that the best gaming experiences on PlayStation are single-player titles that don't require any of these things. Haha, joke's on you. DRM is in the building and you will be required to log in. So Sony is at it again. We're taking away all your rights, making sure that your digital identity is not safe. This is for the kids? I highly doubt it. Exploitation is in the building, and they can target you to let you know who are the children. Isn't that creepy? Letting the big bad wolf know where you're hiding. That's weird. More in incredible Sony news. Exclusives. Oh, and this is brought to you by the Insider Gamer, with Tom Henderson bringing us straight to the forefront. If you don't know about the Insider Gaming app, I suggest you go do so. Lords After Dark is incredible, and myself, along with the Iron Lords, are there. Exclusive Fear Game struggles to find the fun in the latest pre-alpha playtest. Man, I just finished asking about what was going on with Fear Games. Well, apparently I know. Haven Studios' latest playtest of the pre-alpha version of Fear Games continue to struggle to find the fun, according to a source familiar with this. Last week, Haven Studios ran another playtest under the codename Espresso for Fear Games, but according to all those involved, the game is still struggling to find the fun factor and still has a long way to go in development. As mentioned in a previous report, the game mode played called Cargo Heist, which is essentially an extraction-based experience where you load into the map, loot, break vaults, and then extract. I suppose the only unique thing here is that there's also respawns, which takes away from the high-stakes nature of the extraction shooter. The gameplay sent into the Insider Gaming on the condition that it may not be made public shows 4 3-player teams looting a giant mansion using class-based system. The game somewhat resembles The Division or Call of Duty in its graphical style and movement, with elements of the grappling, wall running, but the reveal trailer overly colorful look seems to have been toned down significantly, adapting a more grounded color palette. Fear Games is struggling, and so is Sony. This is in a long line of live service games that seems to be DOA. Much like Marathon, does Fear Games even have a shot in the marketplace? Or would it be the next Concord? I gotta give it up to Shohei Yoshida, because he's coming out and he's swinging them bowls. From telling the world that Jim Ryan fired him because Jim Ryan didn't like Shohei had a spine. Well, this is brought to you by WCCF Tech and Francisco Di Maio. Shohei Yoshida shuts down PlayStation purists and says that the PC ports never hurt the PlayStation 5 sales, but funded the next big blockbusters, just like I said. You see, I'm in the opinion that the PlayStation is going to be doing their launcher. They had a job opening, the job was filled, and it only stands to reason that the launcher should be coming soon. So with the thoughts of games being pulled back from the PC, absolutely makes no sense. They want more of the pie. They want more of those monthly active users, or should we say DAP, daily active players. They actually want those individuals close at hand. And sure, he seems to agree with me. Now, until the PlayStation 5 era, Sony's strategy was focused on delivering first-party games that stayed on the console to drive hardware sales. However, in a new interview with Black Pocket conducted by Alt Games, where he also detailed that his 11-year-old PlayStation Studios run ended with Jim Ryan firing him, former PlayStation executive Shohei Yoshida revealed that the change in strategy was essentially forced by an increase in AAA budgets and actually helped the development of all first-party titles. When I was working on a game on the development side, first-party at PlayStation, from the strategy standpoint, we were not allowed to bring our AAA titles over to a platform like the PC, Yoshida admitted. As the production costs increased over the last 5 years, the exclusivity-only model became unsustainable. According to Yoshida, the scale of the investment in the modern titles only grew as large as the publisher realized console install base alone could no longer support the risk. Releasing games on the PC after a couple of years must have helped recoup the investment of these big budget project games and help the team and the company reinvest that money into new games, he noted. While some hardware purists argue that the PC ports devalue the PlayStation brand, Yoshida dismissed your claims. Shut your console warring behind up. These concerns, as the complaints of vocal minority, I don't think it really affected the adoption of the PlayStation hardware like the PlayStation 5 in any way. Like I've said, a lot of you guys don't know anything, and coming from the man that was in the building that knows everything, he's told you exactly what I've been telling you. PlayStation needs to diversify their portfolio in order to survive. If they do not, they will die out like the dinosaur, and I'm here for it.
Oh my god.
Now, not all is doom and gloom when it comes to PlayStation. Apparently, they have a game that can go up against the likes of Resident Evil Requiem and, dare I say, Pragmata? Man, Sony seems to be balling on all cylinders. Or is it the Defense Force coming out to help save Sony? You see, this is the reason why I call them Kong. Because at the end of the day, there will always be some journalist, some writer, someone trying to save Sony from dying out. Now, we all know Returnal, and we all know Housemarque. But did you know about Saros, the new game from Housemarque? The same individuals that did Returnal, to talk about the shooter. You know, the game. You don't know Returnal? Sucks. Neither does a lot of other people. But hey, maybe with this much of a higher player critic rating, then maybe, just maybe, this game can actually get the critical acclaim that Returnal had, but didn't get the fan base to support it. Let's just see. Well, this is brought to you by the Comic Book and Logan Moore. PlayStation has its first major Game of the Year contender for 2026. I wonder what that may be. PlayStation has its first major contender for 2026 Game of the Year. Up until this point, there have already been a number of fantastic games released on the PlayStation, but it's not their own. Those games have generated the crazy buzz like Noah 3, Resident Evil Requiem, and Pragmata. So hopefully, Saros is going to be the game that beats those games out. As of today, the reviews of Saros have started appearing online, and they are largely fantastic coming by the way of Housemarque. Saros is a PlayStation 5 exclusive game with a roguelike element similar to 2021's Returnal. What? You don't know what Returnal is? Huh. When compared to its predecessor though, Saros has actually garnered more acclaim. At the time of this writing, Saros boasts an aggregate score of 88 on Metacritic, which is excellent to say the least. In fact, reviews for Saros have been so positive that it's immediately become one of the top 5 highest rated games of 2026 so far. The only games that currently trails based solely on the Metacritic score is Resident Evil Requiem and Pokemon Poketopia. As far as the titles are exclusive to PlayStation 5 though, it's by far the best reviewed 2026 up until this point, and it shows that PlayStation-owned studios still has some of the best in the industry. That's organic growth, I tell you. That's a homegrown studio. Wait a second. Sony purchased them. Does that not count? I don't know. Y'all make up the rules. But it's not all doom and gloom, right? You see? I'm playing it right down the line, giving you guys something to look forward to. Man, Saros. I want to know how many of you guys are going to go out and buy it. I'm not. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for any news on the Steam machine, the Steam frame, and the Steam controller. So have I. Well, this is brought to you by Screen Rant and Bob Roiski. Steam hardware price leak has fans saying it's way too much. Steam unveiled its upcoming hardware last November, and ever since then, the subject of pricing has been a consistent source of speculation and debate. Now, a new leak may have just revealed the first hard number for the price, and fans are not happy about it. In total, Steam is set to launch in 3 major pieces of new hardware: the revamped console-like Steam machine, a revamped Steam controller, and a standalone VR headset called the Steam Frame. The big question is the Steam machine price remains a mystery, but the alleged price of the Steam controller could provide a glimpse in what we can expect. The Steam controller price leaks in an early review. Now it comes, remember, with dual trackpads, HD haptics, gyro, grip buttons, full-size control, capsat thumbsticks, and a Steam button. Ooh, sure sounds like a lot, bud. With a Reddit user, Dramatic Shape, whatever, rounded up the reports of the new leak, which appears to come courtesy of a YouTube channel named Techie Talk. It's roughly a 4-minute leak video. Techie Talk demonstrates on what certainly appears to be a legitimate Steam controller in action and reveals the price point to be $100. The alleged price could make the Steam controller more expensive than the primary alternatives for the Xbox or the PlayStation and even Nintendo. Some critics aren't enthusiastic about the idea of spending $100 on that hardware. And, the controller sucks. With $80 at most, declaring that a $99 price tag is way too much. It's exacerbating the concerns about the Steam machine itself. Understanding that if your controller is that price, then God knows how much your machine costs. And Lord knows what the VR is going to do. All this stuff sounds niche to me. Sounds like something that's going to be in the corner. Maybe used, maybe not used. But what I got to say is the Steam Deck might be on its way. It was posted on a site, I think someplace in India, but not the actual price. So we might get the Steam controller way before we even get the Steam machine. Or maybe even before we get the Steam frame. Everything about this thing is ridiculous. And all I can tell you is, who cares, really? Do y'all really care about this thing? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
With PlayStation seeming like they're circling the drain, with a lifeline of Saros coming out, some might really appreciate it. Now, I played Returnal, and it's a pretty cool game. And it was always great for it to go other places. Well, hopefully, Saros hits that PlayStation launcher and makes it out the door. Because like Yoshida said, they need these PC sales. They need to make that money. Because if they don't, then they're going to be relying upon themselves. And 1 game or 2 games a year just ain't cutting it. Especially when Xbox is tearing up these streets. And then you bring yourself over to the Steam machine, the Steam controller, the Steam frame. Ay, Dios mío. This thing doesn't have a date. They talked about it last November. But it seems like they can't get their ducks in a row. I don't know really what's going on. I said if I didn't hear anything about it by the end of April, I think that thing won't show up until maybe November. But hey, you never know. Steam and Gabe might surprise you. Yeah, with the price point. I think that thing is more than $1,000. And if it is, what's the sense of it? Why even get it? It's absolutely worthless then. And then you got to think about it. Is it with the controller? Without the controller? What happens if that thing has stick drift? What? Replacing it at $100 a shot? Man, I hope it has all the bells and whistles that a PlayStation controller has. The DualSense. I hope it has touch. I hope it has sound. I hope it has haptic feedback. I hope it has everything. And I hope it has everything that the Xbox has. And I hope it has everything that the Switch 2 has. It better have everything for $100. But Lord knows what that Steam machine gonna cost. Scary proposition. These two are circling the drain. PlayStation, Steam. Only one that looks good out here is Xbox. Shout out to all my Xbox brethren enduring this video. I just gotta say that it's been a wonderful day. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. Gonna run it up on these bumps. I'm gonna keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation as I sidekick the Steam Deck. Throw it to the bushes. Now, this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy the King. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you look for my videos on the weekends for members. You guys get it free. We have fun with this stuff. But Monday through Friday, the King goes live. You know what it is. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Friday being that wonderful day where we get it in. And this thing right here, we reach that goal. What is that goal? That's Guilty Gear Strife, while we can have some fun with Guilty Gear. Again, thank you for watching. And I want you to do what I'm gonna do that you should be doing, that the PlayStation guys can't do and them Steam guys want to do, but Discord can do it now. I want you to go where gamers game and winners win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass.
Bad days that you have, keep going forward. Them rainy days will stop. It will be sunshine. Don't get discouraged at these bad days, because warriors go through war. Fight back.